New York Republican Congressman Peter King is the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. Congressman King, good morning to you.
Good morning. Great to be with you. It's a great day.
Well, tell me, what was your first reaction when you got the news, and how did you get the news?
About an hour and a half before the president spoke last night, the White House called me, told me the president would be announcing the death of bin Laden. It took me really a few seconds to fully appreciate what they were saying. You know, we lost so many friends and neighbors on September 11th. There's been so many near misses over the last 9.5 years, and to actually realize that this man was dead was just a great moment. And my heart really goes to the family members of those who were murdered on September 11th. Give them a sense of closure, a sense of justice. And let me just say, as a Republican, let me give the President Obama, tremendous credit for this. He was the commander-in-chief. He's the one who authorized this operation. This whole situation began under President Bush. It was continued and now carried to a conclusion, very successful conclusion, by President Obama, and he deserves full credit.
As chairman of the Homeland Security Committee, I do have to ask you some questions that arise as a result of the killing of bin Laden. What happens next? Obviously, there are a lot of people around the world who still want to see harm done to the United States. Do you think they'll step up their efforts in the wake of his killing to send some kind of a message?
Now, there's two main things. I think there's going to be a fight for power within al-Qaeda between the Egyptians, the Yemenis, the Saudis, the Libyans. We'll see that. But yes, as far as we're concerned, I think al-Qaeda will definitely try to avenge this death. We have to be on full alert. We have to be monitoring this very, very carefully, both U.S. installations overseas and also attacks here in the United States, either attacks launched from outside the country or by homegrown terrorists here in our country. So I can assure you that all the intelligence agencies, counter-terror agencies, police, everyone is working around the clock right now, looking for any strand of intelligence indicating that there's going to be any type of attack, planned attack. We have to be on our guard. We have to be alert. This is a key moment because al-Qaeda has to avenge this. This is a terrible defeat for them, and they have to move as quickly as they can, and it's up to us to stop them.
And let me ask you about intelligence. For the last several years, 8 or 10 years, we've been hearing from U.S. intelligence officials that bin Laden was most likely living in some kind of primitive cave along the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Turned out to be anything but the case. He was in an upscale neighborhood only 35 miles from the Pakistani capital. Do you think that was failed intelligence or misdirection on the part of U.S. intelligence agencies?
No, I don't believe it was misdirection. I heard several reports over the years that he may actually be living in residential neighborhoods in Pakistan, moving from area to area. Also, of course, the predominant view was that he was out in the mountains somewhere. No, it was just very, very difficult to find him. I mean, this is an area where the United States has limited access, and he has, let's face it, bin Laden does have support in Pakistan. They were able to move him around, and this was a tough operation. That's why I was never confident right to the very end that we were going to get bin Laden. This is a very difficult assignment, very difficult, and it was carried out. So, no, listen, the intelligence agencies, they stayed on this. And what this shows is you have to pursue every lead. Because, after the fact, this looks very easy. He was in a compound, north of Islamabad, and the helicopters come in, the Navy SEALs took him out. But, there's been so many other instances like this over the years where we thought we had him, we thought he was at a location. And what I give the intelligence agencies and also special operations tremendous credit for, they kept going. They did not become discouraged, did not become defeated, and they got him. And that should be the message to al-Qaeda, that we will get you. You come after America, we will get you. No matter how long it takes us, you will be gotten.
Right. New York Congressman Peter King, the chairman of the Homeland Security Committee. Congressman King, I thank you for your time this morning.
Matt, thank you very much.
All right. Let's go back to
the big news of the day. Osama bin Laden dead, buried at sea.
Congressman Peter King joins us. He is the chair of the Homeland Security Committee in the House. You know him here on Good Day New York. Congressman King, welcome back. What do you think?
Greg, it's a great moment. It's a great victory for America. It's a tremendous tribute to our armed forces, and the president deserves great credit as commander-in-chief. So in the short run, this is a a great tactical victory for us. In the long run, it's a strategic victory if we can take advantage of this opportunity to really move on al-Qaeda, because I think right now, even though they had contingency plans in place, they're not quite ready to lose, to have lost bin Laden, and there could be internal feuds between the Saudis and the Yemenis, the Libyans, and the Egyptians. So if we can move quickly on that, I think we can even take greater advantage of this. At the same time, I don't have to tell you, we have to be on a really high state as far as looking for any potential plots against the U.S., because al-Qaeda will try to avenge this.
Right.
And the way to do it, obviously, is an attack on the homeland. So we have to really make sure that everything is coordinated.
Congressman, have you been able to see any pictures? I think a lot of people, everything was kind of leaked on Twitter and Facebook and things like that. People are now saying, where are the pictures? And there must be pictures out there. Have you seen anything of Osama bin Laden?
The only contact I had was last night. The White House called me about 90 minutes before the president's speech to tell me what he was going to say. But I assume there have to be pictures. There's a DNA test, because there's going to be conspiracy theorists out there. And our intelligence people and the administration want to be ready to answer that. So I'm sure all that will be done at the appropriate time. But there's no doubt that they would have pictures of Osama bin Laden so that people would know that we got him. We can't allow any kind of a myth to develop that he's really alive in some third world country wandering around.
Congressman King, you mentioned that the president deserves credit as commander-in-chief. Doesn't he perhaps deserve a bit more than that? I mean, this was part of the policy that he campaigned on, that he would go into Pakistan, perhaps not with Pakistan's government permission or even knowledge, to go after high-value targets. He said that explicitly during the campaign of 2008. He was criticized by Republicans, even some Democrats, that he was naive, that he didn't get it, that he did not have a sophisticated grasp of the world stage. And here he is. He did what he said he was going to do. I think he deserves more credit than just, okay, he's the commander-in-chief, he's in charge of the military at this time. We praise President Obama.
No, I wasn't giving any grudging credit. I'm giving him full credit. He also was the one who had to make the decision as far as pulling the trigger, which took a lot of guts, because there was no certainty bin Laden was there. Civilians could have been killed. It could have been the wrong person. We could have lost helicopters like happened on Jimmy Carter when we tried to rescue the Iranian hostages. And I'm not trying to make this any type of partisan effort. I do know, though, that in 2007 and 2008, President Bush did begin stepping up the use of drones. I think what was different was whether or not President Obama should have announced he was going into Pakistan. But, Greg, that's all behind us. His policy worked. I've supported his policies in Afghanistan. I've had real differences as far as Guantanamo and the 9/11 trials, but I have said from day one, from the time he gave the speech at West Point, that I support what the president is doing in Afghanistan. I support the policies pursuing there, even as far as Bagram, the prison compound there, his policies in Afghanistan. I stand with him on that. I was in Afghanistan last year. I made it clear that I am with the president on this, and I'm giving him full credit. This isn't any kind of grudging credit. This is full credit. I'm giving President Obama for carrying this out. It was the end of a very successful operation that he began, and he gets all the credit.
Congressman King, thank you so much for coming in and weighing in on Osama bin Laden's death this morning.
Yep. Great to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We have been waiting.